Hello everyone. Welcome to part 2 of the tag series that we're just doing 2 parts of where you slow stitch. And so I'm going to do regular shape tags. These are tags that I got from Roxy Creation, and I just picked out some blue ones and decided, yes, once again, I'm going blue. I don't know why I do that. I forgot when I was working on these that I did blue in the others till just now. But that's okay. So we're going to slow stitch. I'm just stacking these like I want them on the tag. Now these are going to be flat fabrics on a flat tag. So here we go. We're just going to start here in the middle on this stripe ticking type, I think, fabric. I'm not sure what it's called. And I'm just going to slow stitch here. And you can slow stitch along with me if you've got everything set up. Otherwise, just watch and learn. If you don't know how to slow stitch, I'm sure a lot of you do by now. Now, I'm not an expert by any means, and I'm learning a lot that I didn't know before. I never knew what slow stitching was. I had done it my whole life, but didn't know it was called slow stitching. We just called it like a straight stitch, you know. And you can do lots of different things with it. And I'm really enjoying the process. I'm also in the 52 tag challenge that's put on by Ann Brooke. It's lots of fun. So we'll do 52 weeks of tags. So we should end up with 52 tags. And let me show you my tags real quick, because I wanted to show you in the last video and I didn't get to. But you can go over to wrong paper. You can go over to hashtag 52 tags handmade, and you'll see the gallery. And that's Ann Brooks Textile Artist is the one that's putting on this challenge. And yeah, over on Instagram. You can post your pictures to your Instagram and to the 52 tags handmade. Okay. All right. So that is, and then you get 52 tags the same size. And yes, I picked one of the bigger size because I feel like I'm blind and I need that extra help. So the first week was a white tag. And you can see here, maybe a little better. Okay, the second week was using a heart. So I just puffied up a little rooster on and blanket stitched around it. Added a couple of different, I added some chicken fabric and some buttons on a safety pin in the right colors. And I did some rickrack on the top. So, and then the third week, tag number 3, was supposed to all be this layered texture of fabric. Well, after I did 4 or 5 of them, I was like, oh, that will take me a week. Because, you know, I'm not as fast as some of the ladies. And so I just took my fabric, which was upholstery, and just did different kinds of stitching on it. Made a little house right here. Here's some little trees. And, you know, a bunch of French knots and so forth. Chain stitch, back stitch, yeah, and a straight stitch. Then this was this new stitch, and now I can't even think of it. I'm sorry. The stitch that's right here, the blue ones, and these yellow stitches. And I just added a little pop of red by doing 4 little flowers and some French knots. So on muslin. And this is week 5, where we do the X's. And so for hugs and kisses, you know, I went ahead and added a yo-yo. And I filled it full of French knots and did 3 buttons here and just did a slow stitch around the outside. Did a back stitch right down the fringe right here. And then just put X's. That's a little bit of sari silk under there. So yeah, tag 5, using an X. This was using a quilt. So it's puffy. I'm sure you can tell. It is puffy. And I did a blanket stitch around the outside of the quilted portion. And then I stitched on with green and taupe a bunch of different buttons that are vintage. Vintage buttons. So that's my first 6 tags. And those are all posted on my Instagram. So you can go over there and check them out. It's under Renewed and Crafted for You. I can't think of the hashtag right now, but I'm fairly new over there, so I'll know eventually. Okay, so back to our slow stitching. I knew I promised you that in the last video, and I never seemed to, I ran out of time or something, but anyway. So I hope you're having fun doing slow stitching on fabric for tags. And I hope you all are having a great day. Now, I'm not necessarily stitching every piece of fabric. On some of them I have. On one I did. On the second one I just did portions. Because honestly, the dark blue on here, this, you can't see it. And so I was kind of like, well, why am I doing it if you can't see it? So after the first one, I was like, don't think I'm going to do a lot on that one. So you want to stitch everything before you put it on your tag. It's just lots easier. Just put a pin in it and to hold everything together. You can keep them nice and straight, or you can just do them however you want. So this is just a straight stitch for the slow stitch around the outside. But then I'm going to show you how you can use it differently in just a moment. Let's get around this one first. Okay, I'm going to take this pin out. We'll do it straight across here. We got a lot of fringe on this muslin type. It's not really muslin, it's more like a linen. This linen right here. That's what we're going to do something different on. Okay. So we've got the straight stitch around the outside. So now we want to slow stitch on this white right here. It's actually more like a beige, and I'm just going to do stitches. Now, you can go any direction, or you can connect them. I'm just going different directions, and you can just lightly do it to a section, or you can fill it really full. And it's what makes it fun, is there's just no right or wrong. Doesn't matter if the spacing is the same or different. You can do like a certain pattern if you want, or design, you know, if you decide you want to put them certain ways. I'm just kind of coming up and just doing it. You just don't want, really, I feel like you don't want two next to each other that are identical. I think I want to put one more right here. It's getting to be that time of night where I have a hard time seeing small things like this. I think I need my cataracts removed. Yeah, good old cataracts. They hit everybody at some point in time. Those almost look attached, but they're not. Yeah, that's looking pretty fun. Now you can do teeny tiny ones, or you can do bigger ones. It's up to you, or combo, which is kind of what I'm doing. And I do that mostly because I don't like keeping track of the size. So there is this portion, just kind of a messy little section there. These strings are wanting to come off, so I'm just going to get them off. There we go. Now we're going to go across and just do a few over here. Because we want both sides to have some. I'm almost out of thread, so I'm going to have to re-thread my needle, it looks like, unfortunately. Probably have a couple more stitches I can get out of this. So I'm going to see if I can get it in the needle head. Because like I said, not my best. I got to get under the light, excuse me. And I feel like the darker it gets outside, the harder it is for me to thread my needle. Even though it's a big head. Oh, come on. Finally. Goodness. Ah! It just pulled out on me. So we'll try it again. That's better. See how fast that went? And the other one just was a bomb. Okay, so we want to get right here and go back and forth different directions. Oh, the puppy's barking. I think it's probably my husband working in the bathroom. We're trying to get some rooms remodeled before company comes. Doesn't always happen, but can try. You know, you get this close to being done and you run out of thread. Okay, this is my last stitch with this thread. So let me tie this off and hope for the best. But you know, it's all right. Yep. Because all of this will end up glued down. So you want to try to give it a couple knots. But if you don't, it's not going to be that big a deal when you're gluing them down. Okay. So let's get that back out. Some more of that thread. And I've got it right here. I didn't think we were going to need any more. So, yeah. So I'm going to use 2 strands, but in this case, I'm going to fold 1 strand in half so I don't waste. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to put this back up. I'm using the DMC 646 floss. So what I do sometimes, and I don't put a knot in it, is if I don't need very much thread, I just line up the two ends right here, line them up together, kind of moist the ends so you can get it through the needle. Let me get under the light. It's like you just go, your eyes go blank. My vision is not that great. Let me trim off the jagged portion. There we go. There we go. Now, because you don't have a knot on the end, you use this loop. You pull your thread through. Don't pull this portion through. And when you go back down with your thread, you loop through that. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to come up right here. Okay, pull your needle through, but keep it dangling in the back. Pull it over, just like this. And then don't pull it through until you have a chance to put your needle through the loop. And that will tighten it. It's almost the same as knotting it. It just saves you from having too much on the ends on your fabric. So not as many knots. Ooh, that was a big one. Didn't quite want it that big, but that's okay. Oh, good grief. I'm telling you. Any other time, I wouldn't have trouble with my needle unthreading. Kid you not, it's just a crazy thing to happen. Goodness. If you get your needle head just in the right place, you can get some good lighting. Now, either that or you can get a needle threader, which I do sometimes, but usually not for stuff like this because, you know, the needle head's big enough that I can get my thread through it, just like I did. Okay. Okay, we're almost done with this part. It's taken forever. Okay, now we'll just do a few more right up here. Let's see, just like that. You get too close to the fringe on the end, it can wreak havoc too. It can cause issues. Okay, there's this one, especially when it wants to fray. You know, you find yourself in trouble. Okay, so we're going to make that the last one, and maybe right here. We're going to go straight in and hook it right there. All right, that's that part, and now we're just going to tie it off somewhere in the back and loop it through a couple times, and we will have that part done. Put your needle away, trim off your thread. Whoops, excuse me. All right, now, so we're going to pull these in, and we're going to get the glue out and the ink, and we're going to put these together. Now, on these, you don't really have to have any paper, hardly at all. Now, that's up to every individual. If you want to do yours just like this, you will only need a tiny bit if you choose to. Okay, now, I'm just inking around the blue edges. None of my tags match. They're all just part of Rachel's big tag set that she has. And then you're going to put it down. And then we're going to ink this word while we're at it. Okay. Now, we're going to add some glue and put down this portion. Now, you can bring it up a little ways, which is what I'm going to do, about like that, or you can turn it this way. Yeah, let's do that. Now, I'm just putting little strips of glue right here, just enough to hold it down. Yeah, and then you just flip it over, decide where you want it. And I still want it, you know, showing some of the bottom. And I didn't worry about getting everything perfectly straight. That's kind of what gives it character. At least that's what I think. And now we have another flower. And we can decide where we want it. I think I'm going to bring it more down than over, because instead of in the center, bring it down. So it's kind of on part of the blue and part of the blue and white. Just kind of over to the side. I like them to all be a little different. Now, as far as the word goes, you can just do it straight across, or you can tilt it one way or the other. Maybe on it a little bit. I kind of like that. Let's do that. Or you can put paper or whatever underneath. Okay, like we did in the last tags on the last video. Just turn it like this, because this is kind of going to lean your tag a little bit, and I like that look. Now, what we want to do is punch a hole in this and try to get it in the center as best you can. Kind of have to hold it where I can see it, but you want to get it as much in the center as possible. I'm not real good at that. Okay, it's hard to tell. You think you have it in the center and then you don't. See what happens. Woo, close enough, I guess. And I just tore some strips of blue, little pink rosebuds on it. I'm going to tie that through, or slide it through here. And I'm going to turn it right side out here like this. And then I'm going to, you could tie it in a knot here, or you can take it and tie it with some twine. And I think I'm going to use twine. You want to have plenty so that if you have trouble with it, you can choose to do something else. So let's see what happens. Get the first strand around. Make sure your top here is straight, and push your twine down, or your string, all the way down up against the tag. You don't want it to go forward. Try to keep it as flat as you can. Yeah, tie it as tight as you can without breaking the string. Double knot it, if I can get it through there. Come on. So you can double knot it or triple knot it, and then you can trim. You could put a bow if you want. I'm not even going to try to do a bow because I have a hard time tying tiny bows. But here is how it turned out. I think it's really cute. I hope you do as well. It's just a small little tag that you can journal on. So I've already got some others sewn already, and I thought we could work them together. So the first thing we want to do, of course, is ink. And I feel like if you can watch, 2 or 3, it helps us to consume how to make them. So I'm just kind of putting lightly on the back. Let's go ahead and ink the second tag, or make it a total of 3. And I've got to make some different colors at some point. Do the same thing here. And then do the letters, or the words, I mean. All right, so that's all that has to have ink on it. So now we have these 2 tags. This one's pretty big. I mean, it was the first one I stitched, and I was like, oh my word, that's going to be a long fabric piece. But that's okay. Every one of them can be different. It's what makes it fun. Okay. Get some glue up here on the muslin. I think that's going to get most of it down. If not, we can go back and add more glue if we need to. Straighten it up. Bring it down and over. Try to get it centered and get all your stitches straight. You know, there's not really a right or wrong on where to locate these or anything. You just make your mind up where you want them and you go from there. I'm going to go ahead and put the hole in it ahead of time so we don't glue in the way. Let's put this on. Okay, where do I want this? Let's put it right here, the opposite side. And let's put the word heart. Don't want to drop it. I think I'm going to put it kind of straight right there. And we're going to take another blue with the little pink rosebuds, put it on here. And just line it up at the top. Okay, now we're going to cut our twine. I'm going to go ahead and just cut 2 while I'm here. Okay, and we're going to lay the twine underneath. Bring it all the way down here, about as far as we can. Okay, and then we'll tie it. We can get it to stay down like it's supposed to be. Okay, now when you pull it around, if it still doesn't want to go down there, you just work it down before you tighten it. Okay, here we go. We're going to tighten it right now. Okay, here we go. Yeah, works perfect. Now, we will shorten the strings on this, and we'll have tag number 2 done. Perfect. Tag number 1 and tag number 2. Okay, one more. And this one is a little bit different. I try to lay them all out different so, you know, it doesn't get boring when you make them, you know, which helps because you for sure have to pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to bring it about halfway up. Let it be here in the middle. Yeah, it's a different look for each one. So how do I want to do these? Let's look at these other 2. Maybe I want to do it right in the middle. No, I don't like it there. I could put it right up here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, now we're going to put the word breathe on here. And, whoa. Let's see. Guess we'll do it like that. Kind of looks good that way. Now we want to poke a hole. Again. Right there. And let's put in our blue string or blue fabric. It's fun to use just scraps. Gives you a different look, you know, and I like that. So let's put it down this way, and we'll lay it over the string here. So we'll pull it down right there. Perfect. Now we're going to bring it up and tie it into a knot and see where we go from here. I tie it 3 times. Okay, there we go. And if you decide that you have too much fabric on the top, like if this seems too long to you, you can just trim it, you know. I think they are a little long, but you can just trim it off. And yeah. So there you go. 3 different kinds of tags. Out of regular shaped tags with no paper behind them, no cushion of any kind. Kind of fun, huh? I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate you doing so. Just click the subscribe button below. And welcome to all the new subscribers. I appreciate you guys jumping on with us and seeing what crazy things we can come up with. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. I don't know what we're going to do next. I do, but I'm not telling you yet. See you next time. Bye-bye.